Hi, everybody. If you're following along and you're joining us in the straw bale experiment, now we're 10 days in. 10 days ago, we put down the straw bales. I'll put a link down below if you didn't see that video. We're doing an experiment where we're going to grow tomatoes this summer in straw bales. So if you missed the first round, I'll put a link down in the Facebook chat below for the first video. Now it's the second video. So we're looking at 10 days later. And last time we got together, we put our straw bales, we put a fence up so that the tomatoes can be tied in, and then we fertilized and watered. Now, this last week, let's see, today is April the 7th. This last few days is we've had, all sorts of rain. So really, since 10 days ago, I only came out and watered one time because we had so much rain. But if we'd had no rain, I probably would have come out 2 or 3 times in this last week and watered. But since we had so much water, since the time I first put them in, I watered it once, a couple of days after we first put them in. And then again, I think we've gotten about 6 inches of rain here over the last few days. There was really no need for additional water. But again, the first step, get them in, fertilize them, water them every 2 or 3 days, put a little additional fertilizer on there. I've only put 1 additional dose of fertilizer since our first batch. So these current bales been here 10 days. They've had 2 rounds of fertilizer, and we've had lots of rain. So now we're going to go through and do the next step to see if we're being successful. Because again, when we do straw bale gardening, what we're really trying to do is we're trying to get these straw bales to begin to compost and break down. And we do that by applying a high nitrogen fertilizer. So currently right now, we know, let's see, it's 57 degrees right now. It's been a cool day. It's only been up to about 60 degrees. So if this experiment is working, we know that these straw bales are going to be warmer than 57 degrees, because that means that the microbial activity has been taking place in the straw bales that's beginning to heat up. It's beginning to compost down the straw. I'll be honest with you, I can see it's a little darker now. When we did it a week ago, these straw bales were much brighter. I can see that they're getting a little darker. Of course, they've had lots of rain and 2 applications of fertilizer. But the way we can really tell if this is working is to take its temperature. And again, they've been sitting outside today. It's not been above 60 degrees. So if these straw bales are above 60 degrees, we're being successful. It's beginning to have microbial activity, generating heat and breaking down the compost. Just get a regular food thermometer. I bet you could use the one in the house. You're just going to wash it off anyway. But this is one that's $9 off of Amazon. And we're going to go through and test and see what the temperature is of these straw bales. Again, it's only about in the upper 50s right now. So anything above the upper 50s means we're being successful on breaking down the compost pile. So here we go. We're going to stick it in there. Let's see what it goes up to. Okay. Okay, so we're a little warmer. We're up to about 65 degrees there. So let me go back and let's go down here a little farther and see if we can find another spot and see if it's gotten any warmer down here on this one. So 65 degrees. Now again, it's a little warmer than the ambient air, but that's not nearly as warm as I want it to be. So I'm going to take this out. Let's back up, Carter, and let's go down here and try the ones on the other end and see if they're getting any warmer any faster here. So we'll test this one. Oh yeah, look at that one. That one's already up to 108 degrees, 109 degrees. So again, it's only in the upper 50s right now, and that thermometer's showing 110. So that means we're getting a lot of microbial activity here, and it's beginning to heat up. So that's what we want. So again, you can sort of see, I did these at the same time with the same amount of fertilizer. That one's already cooking up to 110. That one's cooking a little bit, but it's only in the lower 60s. So again, not consistent, but we're making progress. We're building up the heat inside of the straw bale. So again, just go out there, get you a cheap food thermometer, go out and test and see if you're generating any heat above the ambient temperature. If you are, that means you're successful. Either way, you're going to have to put on additional fertilizer. So I've got my high nitrogen fertilizer here. Now I know this is sort of silly, but this one down here that I know is the temperature is a little lower than I want, I'm going to give it a little extra fertilizer because that's going to give it an extra jump start. And we're going to put fertilizer on all of them, but this one's going to get a whole lot extra here. Let's go through and test this one. Let's see what it's up to. It's not nearly as warm as that one down there on the end. It's above the 50 up some odd degrees that we've got outside today. It's generating some heat, but not nearly as much as I want. So I'm going to go through and give it a good shot of fertilizer. Let's test this one, see if we're doing anything here. Yeah, now see, that one's a little warmer. That one's up to 75, and again, it's only in the upper 50s now, so we're generating some heat, but not as much as that one on the end. So again, we'll put more fertilizer on that one. Okay. And again, I don't overwork this. I mean, I think it's probably about a cup, maybe a cup and a half. And then we'll come down to this one. This was our good one here before. Yeah, see, it's up to 106, 107 degrees. So that's the warmest of the ones that we have. So it's not that important right now, but I'll probably put a little less fertilizer on this one. Not as much as I've had on the others, because we're making good progress on that. So again, here's the second stage. Go out, get your cheap food thermometer, make sure that you're generating some heat above the ambient temperature. If it's still cool and it's still only in the upper 50s and it's 50 degrees outside, that means it hadn't started yet. So I really need to put more water and more fertilizer on it. Again, about a cup and a half on it. As these get warmer and warmer and warmer, we're going to back off on the amount of fertilizer we put on them. So when we finally get up into about 120 range, 130 range, I'll only be adding about a half a cup of fertilizer on here. Again, trying to get them started. But again, go out and check your straw bales. If they're cooler like this one, give them about a cup and a half of fertilizer. If they're warmer like that one, give them about a cup or maybe a little less. And again, we've got to water them again to get that fertilizer down inside the bale. But again, that's the next step. Keep taking the temperature, trying to make sure that it's warmer. If it's not warm, put more fertilizer. If it's getting warmer, you can put a little less fertilizer, but keep watering them about 2 or 3 times a week, adding more fertilizer 2 or 3 times a week. And eventually we'll keep going down less and less and less fertilizer till we only get down to about a half a cup per bale until we're towards the end. Our goal is again to plant our tomatoes in mid-May. So go out and check your straw bales, and I'll see you in another week. Thanks, Carter.